Today we're changing, or well, not changing, putting new inserts in the motor mounts because the old rubber was all shriveled up and cracked and falling out and bouncing around inside there. So I got the old ones out a long time ago and I painted these clamshells, and we're gonna put the new inserts in. So the first thing you want to do is drill out these holes. Show you which ones. Right there in the middle, and right there in the middle. So, only probably about halfway through. It should have been enough to get through that first half of this clamshell. But it might not be big enough. So, let's see if we can pry on it a little bit. See if we can pry it apart. I kind of have my doubts, but you never know. Instructions that came with the new ones said to use a 3/8 bit, but I don't think a 3/8 bit is quite big enough. So we'll put a little bit bigger bit. The other thing that came with the insert, try 7/16. Let's try 7/16. Anyways, there was a little note that came with the inserts as well. These are polyurethane inserts I'm putting in. And the note said, exactly, I'll just read it. It says, excessive heat can damage the polyurethane material. Due to the many variations of installation and styles of exhaust headers, you may need to fabricate a heat shield or use header wrap to keep excessive heat from damaging your new engine mounts. So, that's a little unnerving. Two halves. And it looks like I may need to do some cleanup on these. Clean the first one up. I got these. The solvent rinsed off, and we're just going to clean it up. I'm going to paint those. I'm going to primer them and paint them. I'm just going to use a rattle can. And the primer should be dry. So I'm going to use one of these fancy new Rust-Oleum ones that I got the other day. It has the adjustable deal here. 3 is supposed to be your average spray can. So let's see. It's time to install the polyurethane insert, which is right here. Now, what I'm going to do, the bottom plate and the top of the clamshell both have this those line up like so. If you notice, there's a gap. The way to overcome that, what I do, you're supposed to just put a zip tie in through the center hole and a zip tie in through here and tighten it up real tight. Then you bolt it into the frame, and then you cut the zip tie, pull the zip tie out, and there it is. The problem is, well, there's no problem with that, but I'm going to take, and I'm going to bolt this together, bolt it down snug. Then I'm going to take and put just a couple of tack welds in 3 places. One here, one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. And that's what I'm going to do. But all you got to do to get this ready to install, take your bolt, install 4 bolts. These are the bolts I'm going to use to bolt these in to the frame too, by the way. They're brand new, grade 8. Should not have a problem with them. Now there's only 6 bolts that are going to be bolting both motor mounts in. There's going to be 3 on each one. And one of these holes doesn't get a bolt when you're bolting it into the frame. So we're just going to snug these up. Now I am kind of watching where I drilled originally to separate these 2 halves, and I'm trying to line them up as good as I can to how they were originally. And I'm not killing these, I'm not torquing them, I'm not tightening them tight, I'm just making it where just tight, you know, not stupid tight. This is only a 1/4 inch ratchet. As you can see, it's kind of small. And I'm just tight so that the 2 halves of the clamshell are snug against each other. And there you have it. It's installed. I'm going to go just put tack welds in those 3 places on each side, and this will be ready to go. But I'm going to take and I'm going to just clean off the paint just where I'm going to tack it. Alright, so I got it tacked, and as you can see, I did 1 tack here, 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 and here. And I took a little bit of paint off of up here, and I put my ground clamp there. I did this tack, then these 3, and I moved the ground clamp over and put it on one of these welds, and did that one and that one. And then I ground it off underneath so that it wasn't hanging over the edge, because this sits flat on the frame. And that's all there is to that. It's ready to go.